Welcome back, everybody. This is your three-man booth. We are in 2020. It's the off season, also the playoffs. I'm Dan Salem with Phil and Bud, Section 323 podcast on hiatus until next season. I want to talk free agents, guys. You're free agents until the new year starts, right?
We're free agents till the draft, at least.
Okay. So there's a lot of big-name free agents this offseason. It's worth debating on whether any of them are actually going to leave their current teams. But technically, contracts are up. And I'm just going to list some names, and then I'll let you guys kind of dive into them. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, Dak Prescott, Ryan Tannehill are all basically the top 5 available quarterbacks. Derrick Henry, for the currently playing in the playoffs Titans, is going to be a free agent. Same with Melvin Gordon and his running mate Eckler. What's his face from Miami? Drake is available. And then I'm missing one running back. And then there's a couple of good wide receivers, Robbie Anderson, Amari Cooper. And 2 other names that fall between those 2 guys in terms of actually wanting to sign them. I had them all on the tip of my tongue. I'm missing a couple. I'll pull them up here, but dive into the quarterbacks first because that shook me a little bit.
Well, for quarterbacks, I don't know about Brees. I think he'll probably end up back with the Saints. We all expect Brady to go back to New England. Tannehill's going to get paid. He's going to get paid by Tennessee.
He's putting up monster numbers, 88 yards a game in the playoffs. I mean,
right.
Well, that's sarcasm. That's sarcasm. Why are you going to pay the guy?
because they're on the doorstep of the Super Bowl right now.
Well, I think it's safe to say Tannehill and Henry are not going anywhere. They're going to open up the bank for both of them.
Right.
Well, so I understand that the team totally flipped when Tannehill took over. So something about him is leading them. But he's not actually putting up big money numbers. You think
So what's the difference?
Someone else might offer him the money. Why would they want to match?
I don't think anybody else offer him money.
Because they have nothing they have nothing behind him. You're not going to go back to Mariota.
Right. They won't, but they're available.
What other teams have quarterback needs? I
mean, Jacksonville probably. I don't know. There's situations that are up in the air, I guess. But needs is a strong word. You're right. I mean, Miami, obviously.
Can they franchise him or no? Can they franchise Tannehill?
I don't know why you would want to. You'd have to pay him $20 million a year.
Well, I'm curious. I don't know because was he traded there? Or was he picked up as a free agent? I forgot.
Traded.
He was traded. I guess there's no rules that apply. Dak's gonna get franchised. There's no 2 ways about that one. I can't imagine Dallas letting Dak go.
No,
for nothing.
For any of these teams to let their quarterbacks go. I mean, even Jameis Winston.
That's the one wild card that I'm not sure about.
But you probably bring him back. I don't know if he's really going to get paid on the open market. So,
well, they might give him like a 1-year prove it deal.
Yeah, or a lower your interceptions numbers deal. The rest of the package is pretty good.
The coach is certainly not sold on him. I mean, he came out and basically said, "Well, we can have any quarterback that could throw 30 interceptions a year." So, it'd be interesting to see what they do with him. I mean, he puts up prolific numbers, both good and bad. But the team doesn't win around them. So, what's missing down there? I don't really know.
I kind of think they'll draft a quarterback. I mean, they're picking middle of the first round. They could easily take a guy, and I mean, they got big time wide receivers there. That's huge weapons for a rookie coming in. I don't know if he'd start the year. It depends on how good he is, but there's not.
I wonder what the Dallas. Because so I looked at this. Dallas has like one of the top 5 amounts of cap space this coming off season. I don't think anyone expects Cooper to go anywhere. So unless you're really not sold on Dak, why would you just not take care of him right now? Unless you're really not sold on him.
Yeah, but it's weird that they haven't announced anything yet. I mean, their season's been over for a couple of weeks.
Well, they have a new coach now. So.
The new year doesn't start till March.
Right, but why let it get there?
I don't know.
I mean,
that's good.
I don't know if they'll pay. See, I know everyone likes Amari Cooper. You think that he could get big money? It's the same with Robbie Anderson. these wide receivers. Hold on. There's a couple other names out there. Like, there's not a lot of depth at receiver, and I mean, I know there's a lot of depth in the draft. So, are you really going to pay for Emmanuel Sanders and Randall Cobb and A.J. Green? So, like, these are guys that are iffy. I don't know what A.J. Green's got left or Randall Cobb's got left, but those are big names too that Cooper's competing with.
But that's the question now. You have all these guys coming out, but you're going to pay bottom of the barrel for, and you get them for 5 years. You got to pay Amari Cooper top dollar here for 5 years.
You got to pay all those guys top dollar.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. So you now it's like the whole Moneyball thing. What do we do?
Yeah, but I mean, would you rather pay Amari Cooper $15 a year, or would you rather pay A.J. Green on a 1-year deal for like $16 and see if he's still got it?
A.J. Green still got it.
But how do we know he didn't play last season?
Well, look at the team he was on. Why would he want to?
Well, when Joe Burrow is throwing him the football, maybe all of a sudden he'll get better.
That's true.
It's interesting. Kareem Hunt was the other running back name that people are tossing around now. He only had half a year too. Didn't really see much action, but he'll be available.
Well, he's not gonna see much action anyway. I mean, he's playing behind Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is rushing for 1,400 yards a year. So there's a difference. He's not gonna play.
Well, he's a free agent now. No, I mean, he only came in halfway through the season, I think, because of suspension, right?
The Jets should get him and not use him like they did with Le'Veon.
Well, they might pick up one of these guys. Kenyon Drake, ex-Miami Dolphin, maybe.
Yeah, but no. They're not going to get Kenyon Drake. I mean, he shipped Kenyon Drake out of there. Listen, what do they do with Robbie Anderson?
They got to let him go. He's not worth the money that he's going to command.
So I heard and I read something that Buffalo is interested in. Could you imagine he goes to Buffalo? My word.
I mean, that's fine. I'd rather pay A.J. Green the money than Robbie Anderson. Randall Cobb, I don't know. Robbie Anderson's done well. He always was bad in September, October, and then finally by November he was playing pretty good. And it's like,
yeah, but so was Sam. Sam was playing better in November too.
But Robbie Anderson's done that all 3 years of his career. It's like no pattern. I guess we disagree. I like Anderson when he's playing well, but there's a pattern, and I mean, I don't know why that would change with him as the Jets. I don't.
Well, so it's funny. So he's known in the fantasy community as Fantasy Santa because he only shows up around Christmas time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, put him with Drew Brees or Aaron Rodgers. Put him with Josh Allen, and maybe he does great. I think he needs to change the scenery. I don't think he should come back to the Jets. I think it'd be. I mean, if they can get him for 10 or less, sure, 10 million, but I don't think they will. So
the best thing about NFL free agency is it starts in March, right after the Super Bowl, kind of winds down. Everyone's jonesing for something, and it's over in 2 days. It's over extremely fast.
Yeah, I think last year we saw that a lot of these deals got announced the week prior, and then they didn't go official.
Well, that's true too. But
we got pre deals for a week leading up to it.
So you lose Robbie Anderson. What are you replacing him with? Are you confident that there's suitable replacement for him?
I mean, it's a deep wide receiver draft. I think they'll pick up
a
couple of flyers, and then they'll draft some new blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, we have a great wide receiver in Le'Veon Bell if we could use him properly. So maybe they'll switch gears that way. But Anderson's going to get wide receiver 1 money, and he's a wide receiver 2. So you can't overpay for him. They made that mistake last offseason. I hate to see him do it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough because at least for the quarterback, all these guys get pretty much franchised, right? So you really don't see quarterbacks move. It actually will be interesting now. Hey, you didn't mention the biggest free agent out there, Eli Manning's out there.
Oh. Well, no one's going to franchise him. And I don't know if anyone will give him a starting deal.
It's true. You're 100% right about that.
I think it's safe to say Eli's played his last snap.
Have we?
I think he'll retire.
Where would he go, Phil?
No, I don't know.
There is an option where he stays in shape and someone brings him in end of August, end of September to be their starter because they've lost their other players. That could be there if he only wants to start.
It certainly felt like a not only a giant farewell, but it certainly felt like a I'm done farewell.
Oh, there's no doubt it was a giant farewell. There's no debating that. It's a matter of he said from all the articles and quotes that I saw, meeting with Mara, he doesn't want to sit behind he doesn't want to be a backup because he says that's not a lot of fun. So if he's not starting, he's not interested. I don't know where he's like you said, Jacksonville's there. I don't know.
Yeah, but they got a rookie or a second-year player in Mishnu, and then they got an overpriced veteran in Foles, and there's not a lot of room for him.
Foles. I wonder what they do with Foles. Do they cut him? No one's going to trade for him. I mean, I guess you're stuck with him, right?
Yeah. I mean, let him at least be your backup. He's a reliable backup.
I mean, think of the quarter. I mean, there's like, well, there's also 4 or 5 quarterbacks coming out in this draft too, with Burrow and Tua and Herbert and I'm blanking on the other 2, but there's at least 4 or 5 quarterbacks coming out in this draft.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the backup in Philadelphia?
Oh.
Well, right now it's McCown.
No, McCown's done.
No, I mean, he came back off the high school football field. I don't know. I didn't exactly.
Who was the backup quarterback in Philadelphia? Because
didn't they
blow?
It was Foles.
It was Foles.
No. This year.
I don't know.
Because that's the reason why they got Josh McCown. Josh McCown was like an emergency backup.
Oh, right. He went out injured. Their guy went out injured. I don't remember who.
They lost both of their backup quarterbacks in preseason, remember?
Yeah.
But I don't know who
was it like Blake Bortles must have been backing up somewhere. I don't know.
Where was Bortles? I don't remember where Bortles went. I feel like he's somewhere on the West Coast. I don't remember where he went.
That doesn't matter. I see Seahawks. It doesn't matter. These players never want to see the field. So do we all kind of think the franchise will get slapped on these quarterbacks because they're all worth it? These are actually quarterbacks worth the franchise money.
Is New Orleans going to give Drew Brees a new deal?
I mean, they could slap him with a 1-year franchise, like you said.
No, but let's pretend they don't franchise him. I mean, are they really going to give him 3 or 4 years? Probably not that much.
No, it'd have to be 2 max. I mean, I can't see him going longer than 2, and even in the second year might be an option year.
But Drew Brees is not the reason why New Orleans is losing. In fact, Drew Brees is. But they got Taysom Hill now.
That team you could argue that they were better with Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, I know Drew Brees wasn't the reason that they lost, but I feel like he's been playing well. But he doesn't have that firepower he used to. I don't know. It's any day now. It's any day.
Where does Rivers go?
Oh, Rivers. He wasn't even in the top 5. Oh, he's a great ad. Just a change of scenery could make a huge difference for him.
But where's a landing spot for him?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, someone that doesn't draft one, like Miami.
What about Chicago? What about what's his name?
They've come
out and said that Trubisky is the quarterback next year.
Yeah.
Did they? All right.
But Rivers is an upgrade there. I mean, Rivers is an upgrade for Tampa Bay too. Heck, Mike Evans and Philip Rivers, that's a 1-2 punch. So.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see anybody big. Really, I mean, I guess Rivers isn't playing in San Diego again. We can count on that.
And what about Carolina? I mean, they aren't committed to Cam Newton either, and that team has a nice infrastructure as well.
And a new coach and a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Well, they're also looking for a linebacker now too, by the way.
Oh yeah. But you saw that coming. I mean, he's had 1 to 2 concussions every year for the last 3 years. Like the guy can't play football anymore.
Right.
No. So I want to throw in these tight end names because these guys, I don't know if they deserve the money, but they've had good numbers. Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, Eric Ebron, Jacob Hollister, and Tyler Eifert are the top 5 tight end free agents. Tight end's such a fickle position. I don't know how to quite back it. There's like only one reliable, and that's in Kansas City. So, but these guys meant a lot to their teams. I mean, maybe they just all stick around with their current teams.
Yeah, to get a good tight end now is tough. It's not a sexy pick. It's not a sexy position by any means.
It's not anywhere near it. And I mean, someone like the Chargers they need their tight end, right?
So speaking of the Chargers, did you see Antonio Gates finally retired today too?
Oh yeah, I hadn't realized that he didn't already retire.
That was my exact same reaction. Did this guy already retire? But apparently today he officially retired.
Yeah. Well, good for him. He's had a Hall of Fame career. So, all right. Should I move to defense? Let's see if there's anybody. Ndamukong Suh's available. Leonard Williams, because the Giants probably aren't gonna. Maybe they'll resign.
That was a good trade by the Giants.
Oh man. Oh, David Clowney, Jason Pierre-Paul still playing apparently. Dante Fowler Jr., Shaq Barrett, Yannick Naku. I'm not familiar with that name. Butchering some of these guys.
Seattle can't franchise Clowney.
No, it'd be too much, right?
No, I don't think.
These names don't stand out to me. Why? Why do you say that?
I thought I'm probably wrong, but I thought that they couldn't.
You might be right. I mean, everyone's just saying he's a free agent. He's a free agent. I don't know in which way they acquired him if he can't be their franchise player. Might be some wrinkle in there.
Maybe because he was franchised and then traded.
That might be it. It's risky franchising these guys because I know they don't have a new CBA yet for the following season. I think is when they're gonna have to do it, right? And so I mean, if you can get a 2-year deal on these guys, who knows what's gonna happen with the new CBA? It's much better to do a 2-year deal than a 1-year franchise.
They'd be foolish to lock out these players again. They make money hand over fist around here.
Obviously, I mean, the NFL is popular, but something like that could really hurt it.
They're about to give Tony Romo $14 million at ESPN to call these games. They're not hurting for money.
You think he takes it?
I think you have to.
ESPN is not hurting. I don't know about.
He's only getting paid $4 million right now by CBS. I heard.
Oh, well, Disney's smart. I mean, it's kind of like labeled as everything sports ESPN across every single network it owns. So that's like.
He'd automatically go into the Monday Night Football slot. So, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. Unless
they'd have to find somebody else to take over. I think I read something that they're probably looking to change over the whole team. Joe Tessitore and Booger McFarland is a waste. Is a waste of space.
He doesn't add a lot. He's just kind of funny.
Right.
Yeah. They always throw him on the Jets games.
Unless they're going to, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. What I was going to say is, unless he really likes Jim Nantz for some reason, I mean, how do you not take that kind of money? I mean, he literally went from quarterback to the highest paid analyst in the history of analysts in 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, unless he wants to be an in-studio host rather than an analyst calling the game, that's the only other. That's like a up move instead of a lateral move. So
yeah, I mean, good for him. It's that's incredible.
Yeah, no, very good. So we're trying to dance. We all skillfully danced around the CBA negotiation because we don't want to think about it. But the XFL launches soon, and we'll have an XFL show. They got an opportunity to both learn from what the AAF screwed up, have a successful season, and then be the only source of football if things go sour for the NFL in a year, which hopefully doesn't happen. But they positioned themselves rather nicely. I don't know if Chad Johnson's enough of a pull, but that might be one of the first dominoes that makes them interesting.
Certainly would.
Did it say, I didn't read the whole thing. Did it say what team he's playing for?
No, he's just doing, I think, a generic tryout.
All right.
Now, was this a joke that he was trying out as the kicker? Because again, I didn't investigate. But
the video showed him kicking like 50, 60-yard field goals.
Okay, but he was a wide receiver. So, I mean,
but at 42, you could probably kick and not play wide receiver.
That's true. I'd watch for him as the kicker.
I mean, Vinatieri's 47 years old.
Yeah, is he still playing? Did he retire?
I think he's probably done.
Yeah.
He played year, he did not have a good year.
So we
But
can agree. Yeah, he's
quarterback.
retiring. We think Eli Manning's retiring. I mean, I think that Brady or Brees would have retired if they had won the Super Bowl, but they both didn't.
Well, clearly Brady still has something to prove, apparently.
Yeah.
You still have to deal with him for one more year.
What a douche.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, there's no maybe. They have no backup. They have no backup plan right now. So there is no maybe.
Well, listen, it all goes through Belichick. Does he want Tom Brady back?
Absolutely not. He doesn't. Tom Brady didn't help the team one bit this past season.
But Robert Kraft loves him. He's on his knees for him. So,
yeah,
is the owner going to outweigh the Messiah? I don't know.
It's tough when you're his age to toss a year of your career to the wind. Now, maybe they can win with Tom Brady again, but they need to vastly improve the rest of that team. And they have one of the best defenses in football this year. So it was not enough. They were the best defense.
Not good enough to stop the run, apparently, because Derrick Henry ran for almost 200 yards.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry almost ran for 200 yards out of it last weekend, too. So
it'd be interesting to see what they do against Kansas City, because if they can control the clock and he can run like that.
But they have to keep pace with Kansas City, who could have put up 100 points if they let him.
I like Tennessee keeping it close.
I'm sorry, Dan, what'd you say?
I said I like them keeping it close. I don't think it's going to be another runaway game like that.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, and here's the thing is, if they can control the clock and keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands, they have a very good chance of, and that's basically what they've been doing. They get out to like a little bit of a lead, defense plays solid, and they just run the ball and run the ball and run the ball and run the ball.
Yeah, and Ryan Tannehill doesn't make mistakes. That's
right.
Basically his best attribute.
Right, he makes 2 plays a game. That's it. That's all they need him for.
So there's a couple of archetypes in the NFL, right? We know it, like great defense and a great running game and a quarterback who doesn't make mistakes, that wins. And then what the Chiefs are doing, solid defense and a pass attack, right? Because they couldn't run the ball for crap last week, and it didn't really matter. Green Bay couldn't run the ball for crap either. This didn't matter. So there's like these two formulas. That makes me think, do the Jets or Giants have either formula? And if they don't, can they possibly win without it?
Well, they should both have running games. Should.
But right, the Giants have more of a running game than the Jets do because they don't use Le'Veon Bell properly. But I want you to look at big picture here, okay? Where the Jets are and the Giants are. They are so far behind the rest of the competition in each one of these conferences. They are years away. Years. There's no way that the Jets or the Giants can compete with teams like the 49ers and Green Bay and
Baltimore.
So I gotta play devil's advocate because it's interesting, but also San Francisco was an average football team, right? But they built a really great defense last season, and they showed bright spots. They added Bosa, and their defense just took off. Now they had the whole infrastructure and they had a great defense to begin with, so they added like 1 or 2 more players, and wow. I mean, obviously, none of us really feel like the infrastructure is fully built for our teams yet. But at some point, you're 1 or 2 players away, and it's whether you get them. I don't know. I'm hopeful because it's the offseason. So
I don't know. I mean, if Brady goes back to New England, as a Jets fan, you now have to hop New England, and you have to hop Buffalo.
And all the players Miami's going to draft with their 85 first-round picks this year.
Right. They have, 5 first-round picks this year?
Yeah. We were talking big picture, though. So I don't – beyond the division, the top of the AFC. The Chiefs are still there. Maybe Tennessee will be able to keep itself together. Whether or not Derrick Henry can actually run it back again next season will be a big question mark. But
how disappointed were you that Lamar Jackson didn't live up to what he did all season? He's kind of exposed a little bit.
So was it really him or was it the team? Because Harbaugh's Ravens have a history of not showing up in the playoffs. And
nobody played well, though, Phil. Nobody played well. It wasn't all on Lamar Jackson. No,
I know that,
He
but
he had some nice runs.
But that whole team was never challenged all year. When they lose 2 games, right? So
really, momentum has been huge in the playoffs. I mean, momentum took the Texans out to a 24-0 lead until Kansas City woke up at home, and like that was just as shocking. Tennessee stole the momentum and basically forced the opposition to play their game, which is that one archetype that only works if you're actually like really dominant on defense and running.
Houston lost that game because the coaching was awful. Not going for it on 4th down and kicking a field goal and then faking the punt on the 30-yard line. I mean, those if they had scored a touchdown there on what were they on the 2 or 3 yard line, if you say you go for it and you don't get it, they still have to drive 97 yards. If you go for it and you get it, you're 28-0 and maybe the tides are completely flipped. Maybe you don't fake that punt.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying it was 24-0 and then they gave up 51-7. I mean, right. I'd almost agree with you if it wasn't 51 points, like practically unanswered. So
you should have been at the casino on Sunday where I was, and people sitting in the money line bar watching that football game, and people were like on pins and needles, and then all of a sudden, just like in a flick of a switch, everyone got real happy, real happy.
Yeah, all those guys laying 9.5 were sweating for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so depending if we gather pre-Super Bowl, I'm sure we probably will. But what do we think is I think we all want to see Kansas City, Green Bay. I think that's the sexiest matchup. I think that's the most intriguing one. I think that's the one that's going to be, a little more higher scoring. If you get San Francisco, Tennessee, you're looking at a dud. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Green Bay doesn't excite me personally, but I know Aaron Rodgers is a name.
I think it's going to be Kansas City, San Francisco. Can you imagine Jimmy G going in there, winning a Super Bowl, Tom Brady sitting at home with Giselle on the couch, popcorn?
What about Tannehill playing the Super Bowl in Miami, the team that shipped him out?
Yeah,
not much of a storyline. It's just
So
food for
I guess
thought.
if the Titans make the Super Bowl, that gives hope to all of our bad teams because they were so mediocre up until end of October this year. So it gives everybody hope, but I hope they don't make it. I don't want to watch them in the Super Bowl. I don't want Mike Vrabel's team to make the Super Bowl.
How much joy? Oh, we skipped over. How much joy did it give you with Mike Vrabel out Belichick with the whole clock situation and taking penalties and false starts?
As a fan of a team that Belichick did this to,
you loved it.
I loved it, and then he had this smirk, and he was all mad. Like, dude, he's playing your game. Yeah. He's playing. You did the same BS to the Jets, and by the way, you were smoking the Jets, and you still did it. And do you not think that somebody's going to pick up on that and do it to you, and then you're going to cry like a little bitch? Please.
Vrabel's running the same game plan that New England wins with, defense and a running game if it can. I mean, how different is Tom Brady and Tannehill right now? Not very different, except one's at home.
You're right. So how did we go almost 30 minutes without talking about the greatest hire in the offseason with Joe Judge here being my new coach over here?
I'm sorry. It was so uninspired. I forgot.
I have nothing else to add to that because I know nothing else about him, so I can't even defend it.
I'll second that with the Browns hiring the guy that didn't get fired, who he wanted to hire last year. The head of their analytics department wanted to hire, I can't even pronounce his name, last season. He got vetoed, and so now he hired him this year.
So do you think Josh McDaniels really even wanted the Browns job? I don't think he really even wanted it.
I think he leverages it to get more money out of the Patriots. I mean, I don't know. Do you really think he'd be a good head coach?
Well, he's the last 2 stints haven't proven very good, so I don't know.
Well, there's only been one stint, and the last one they hired him, and then he quit.
That's true. You're right. I was counting that as sin number 2.
Well, I mean, we all think he's been promised the Patriots job, but who knows how many more years it'll be till he gets it. It's interesting.
It probably should have been this year.
Why?
Well, next year, 2020 season.
Belichick's not retiring any before Tom Brady. There's no way. He's going to go at least 2 seasons after Brady. Just from ego.
That he can win without Brady?
Yeah, I think from an ego standpoint, he's got to coach 2 years without Brady to prove that he can do it.
God,
does he really have to prove anything, though? The guy's got 6 Super Bowls.
I really don't think so, but it seems like it. Like, he just seems like that type of person. Reading that article about how he treated the Jets on the day that he was supposed to get announced as the coach and then instead announced he's going to coach the Patriots, there's no way he doesn't stay past Brady.
He wrote I quit on a goddamn cocktail napkin.
On the walk down the hall to get announced as the head coach of the Jets.
What a douche.
Was there a 30 for 30 on that?
No.
There should be.
That article was pretty in depth, though. I mean, but I was done reading it. Got even more aggravated. I got more mad.
You gotta let it go.
Well,
you can't. They brought it up again.
That's how they get you. So they get you. Well, I don't know how many of these free agents he'll move around. I don't know if our teams will get marketably better this offseason, but we can at least enjoy the last couple of weeks of the regular playoffs.
See, so
dead zone.
To circle back with the dead zone, right? With free agents, I'm not looking to splash a big name. I just want a whole bunch of guys you've never heard of that are defensive players and offensive. I don't even care if they're big names. Just do what you're supposed to do and fill out all the holes we need. I don't need big names. Big names don't help us right now. No,
the Jets have been the queens of big names every offseason, and it's kicked them in the butt. So I'm all for that.
Yeah, I'll look at the list and be like, I don't know who this guy is. That's fine. I don't need to know who it is.
Part of the reason I don't want him to pay for Anderson.
Well, so I guess that kid. I guess the linebacker from the Clemson game last night is the linebacker is on the Giants' radar at number 4. He opened a lot of eyes last night. Yeah. Oh. And we haven't had a good linebacker probably since Lawrence Taylor. So.
Lawrence Taylor was a defensive end, dude.
He did whatever he wanted.
I mean,
that's brilliant. We should end on that note. Well, wait. They haven't announced the Hall of Fame yet, right? But we know Jimmy Johnson's in, and we know Bill Cowher's in. Do we think that what's his face from the Jets is going to sneak in on the senior ballot this season? Is it Maynard, right? Like he's kind of like teetering.
Don Maynard.
Yeah.
Well, he should have been in.
I'm trying to remember who like the modern day voter getters would be this season. I can't remember. I think it's gonna be a good class, but.
Are there any Jets up for the Hall of Fame other than him?
Well,
don't even bother thinking.
Well, the three of us have a good betting track record, so we'll see if we roll it back again as the playoffs roll on. But this has been a fun show. I'm not rooting for Green Bay anymore because I don't really want them to make the Super Bowl. I don't know about you.
I do want to see Kansas City because I think they were robbed last year, and I think it's Mahomes' time. I think I know he's only been in the league a couple of years, but he got robbed last year. I want to see redemption from that.
Well, Andy Reid's 0 for 1, right? So I mean, it'd be nice to see him get back there.
Yep.
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Share.
Woo.